Hello, Photoshop enthusiasts. Welcome back to Life with MKF. Today, we're diving into the world of textile-inspired design. We're going to transform a blank canvas into a stunning, cloth-inspired masterpiece full of depth and texture. But first, let's set the stage. Fire up Photoshop and let's create a new project. A vibrant red canvas that'll serve as the backdrop for our cloth effect. To achieve this, we'll need to create our first layer. This layer will be our background. Create a new layer above the red background and add black dots in different sizes. To do this, navigate to the toolbar on the left. Select the brush tool, then choose a small round brush. Start placing dots across the canvas. Don't worry about being precise. Randomness adds to the texture. Now we'll give our dots some motion. With the dot layer selected, head up to Filter, then Blur, and finally Motion Blur. Set the angle to 50 degrees and the distance to 1145 pixels. Hit OK. See how our dots now have a sense of movement, almost like a fabric fluttering in the wind? This gives our dots a dynamic, flowing appearance. But we're not done yet. Duplicate this layer several times and merge them together. Apply the motion blur again. We're now ready to move on to the next step of creating our cloth effect. After merging the dot layers, apply motion blur again. This step will give your design a sense of movement, making the dots seem like they're flowing across the canvas, just like the threads of a fabric would. Now, let's add another layer of depth to our cloth effect. Navigate to Filter, then Distort, and finally choose Shear. The Shear tool will allow us to create a wave-like effect, mimicking the natural ripples and folds you'd see in a piece of cloth. As you adjust the line in the shear window, notice how it transforms your design, giving it a more realistic, fabric-like appearance. Once you're satisfied with your shear effect, it's time to soften our design a bit with a Gaussian blur. Go to Filter, then Blur, and choose Gaussian Blur. Setting the radius to around 10 pixels will give us just the right amount of blur to enhance our cloth's texture without losing too much detail. Finally, to really make our texture pop, change the blending mode of the dotted layer to linear burn. This will intensify the contrast between the dots and the background, making the cloth effect even more pronounced. Feel free to adjust the layer's opacity to get the look just right for your particular design. This intensifies the contrast and brings out the texture even more. Duplicate the entire layer for added richness. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more Photoshop tips and tricks. Until next time, happy designing!